And with that, I have word that we are ready for our next run. Our next runner is a Horizon speedrunning specialist, holding 2 world records and 10 additional top 5 records over the Horizon franchise. She is now poised and ready to take on the Burning Shores in a 100% Burning Shores story run of Horizon Forbidden West. Let's do this, Doc.
Hello, everybody. I'm Doc. I'm gonna be doing the DLC of Horizon Forbidden West. So for the DLC, it can only be accessed if you have a PlayStation 5 or a PC, and at the end of the game. So you have to complete the entire main quest in order to get to it. For the purposes of this run, I'm starting this from a New Game Plus file, so I already have all the legendary outfits and weapons that are required, and I will be using several of them in this run. So we always start with 20% completed going in, and then before we get to the final split, to end the run, I will have completed an additional 75% of the run. So first things first, we're gonna go and talk to our friend Silence, aka Larry. He has found some information about the Zeniths, who are basically the 2% that went to space during the machine apocalypse. And at this point, we're trying to figure out ways to prevent the a crisis occurring with a new
Are you ready to track
arrival of a new enemy, Nemesis.
Or do you need more time?
So he talks about this new Zenith we're gonna follow to Burning Shores or LA, and
Okay.
his name is Walter Landra.
Shores, then.
So time will start when I skip this skip this first cutscene and
Aloy?
start.
Good luck.
Thank you. So to start off, we've already met Satan in this cutscene. Oh wait, I was playing around with stuff. There we go. I was playing around with some stuff while I was waiting. So we're here and we have to fight these machines. We've lost our ability to use our Sunwing because of the defense tower that Landra set up. And so we crash land in what was once the Hollywood Walk of Fame and Hollywood Boulevard.
We'll have to take my skiff to get to
now we're going to
what are you doing out here anyway?
Here she is.
join Seika on her skiff. Each run for at least for Forbidden West starts with a wonderful 1 minute and 30-second downtime. We have a cable car in the main game, any percent speed run, and then we have this skiff ride in the Burning Shores. So if you have any messages or anything, you're welcome to read them off.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for
like
that.
I said,
really quickly though, before I read off something, I'm kind of new and fresh into Horizon altogether, Doc. So I'm hoping I can kind of learn from your expertise on it. And I'm kind of like, is it often said that a lot of the enemies here kind of resemble like Zoids? I don't know if you remember like the anime.
Yeah, so they're machines. They're based off of various animals. One of them is a tall neck, which I wish they had in the Burning Shores DLC, but they didn't because they replaced what the tall neck represents, which is a basically a satellite hub for a map with the tower we need to destroy. We have T-Rexes, we have a... I don't know what the dinosaur with the spine on it, the big one. But they have like, and they're all based on animals and have various functions related to, similar to what their type of animal. So like the wide maws that we fought are basically to gather resources. The burrowers kind of patrol around to protect the machines, so they each have their own function.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
So now we've made it to Fleet's End, and this is where one half of a group of travelers from across the Pacific Ocean, the Quinn, have landed. The other half we already met, and that was one of the other main characters, or allies of Aloy, is Alva. And this is the other half of the fleet that got separated in a storm while they were crossing the Pacific Ocean. And we are basically trying to help Seika find her sister, who has gone missing, along with several other Quinn. Right now we're on our way to take down the tower.
Okay.
Normally you'd talk to her, follow her, but you can actually just continue on. To give some background while I'm heading over here, this takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth. I can't believe I'm saying this, a Elon Musk type, Ted Faro, created the Faro Plague with his Deathbringers and automated peacekeepers, so to speak. And they devoured all of the life on Earth, and a group of experts in computer science and engineering, hacking, and whatnot created a AI, Gaia, to help rebuild the Earth and hack everything. And this is the world after all of that has been done. So this is the first. We have to scan this little sting spawn. Sting spawn. There we go. And then fight this machine. And none. There we go. So now we're off to the tower. But so basically, Aloy is a clone of the creator of Gaia, Elizabeth Sobek, and she is basically the only one who can effectively control and manage Gaia and get access to all of the places where she can help with repairing the biosphere.
Just gotta. This is as far as I got.
Right.
I couldn't find a way to get
So in this tower section, there's a little intended route in order to get through it. We're gonna take a shortcut. Saves about
it can't be a coincidence.
well, with the new way we do it, I'd say it probably saves maybe 20 seconds in the run, because otherwise we'd be crawling through some tunnels and climbing up some walls and ladders. But we're going to use something called a heavy cancel that was found by the next runner, B-Dud. And this particular... Well, no, I'm not... No, I don't think it was... Was it B-Dud? But anyway, this particular one was found. This skip was found, and it saves a bunch of, time, because you basically can fall down and it will spawn you up higher. And so that one with using mechanics with the glider to get more air was found, and then with the heavy cancel, it allows you to kind of wall jump up to that area to get the new checkpoint.
Now, Doc, I know we're talking about finding new ways and going a little bit faster, but I'm being told, did you just recently PB on this?
I did. I got a 1 minute and 10-second PB just before this today.
That's phenomenal. And actually, that's probably when I was bothering you, so my apologies.
Oh, no. When you were messaging me, I was... I think in between runs, or I had switched games. I can't recall.
Okay, I think you're right, because I think I remember seeing you play something else, but now that I heard that, I'm like, wow, I'm like, for you to PB while I'm in the background, you know, trying to prep with you for the run, that's
No, yeah,
absolutely
it was afterwards.
well, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the PB. What that also means, though, everyone at home is that Doc is locked in, and she,
Oh, yeah.
with that new PB, right? Hopefully you can match it, beat it, and regardless, that means that we might not have as much time as we originally thought in order to meet our incentives, and we still have that open incentive for this game. If we're able to raise $200 by about, and Doc, you can let me know, about like an hour and 20 minutes into the run,
Yeah.
we'll get to see a very touching and romantic scene between Aloy and Seika, and I know that we can make this happen. We are currently sitting at, and let's get a quick refresh on that. We are currently sitting at $30 of the $200 needed to unlock it, so that's $170, and we can go ahead and see that kiss scene. Chat, I know that we can show that the power of love always wins, regardless of whatever, you know, Forbidden West, Horizon Forbidden West Elon Musk did here. We can show that love wins at the end of the day, and we can raise $200. It will all help our friend Linear. I know we can do it.
All right. If you ever hear me yell out, Judas, that is the name of my Sunwing. It's a very appropriate name because there are times where he just portrays me and doesn't do things like I want. Like just a little while ago when I just fast traveled, which is basically using the advantage of the skiff that we traveled in, because the skiff actually is a fast travel point, so you can fast travel to it, and we use that to fast travel to areas as it moves around to match with right now this is the first of several collectibles we need to get. This is an aerial capture. It is not bad casually, but it is a pain to do in a speedrun because you have to be careful how far you veer off. I'm not sure if you heard Aloy saying, I'm losing the signal, blah blah blah. She will say that 3 times and then you will lose the signal. There's like a particular range that we can go away from it. It depends on, each one has a slight difference. But we... Oh, no. Judas. There you go. It just depends on like each one, like how far we can go off. But essentially what the aerial captures are, it's a video, it's an audio recording from a soldier in the U.S. Air Forces, and that was part of the resistance against to buy Zero Dawn time for development. And she is suspicious of what is going on. So she's found these black boxes from crashed helicopters and put these messages out here. And each of these is like, as she's like kind of going into this conspiracy about what Zero Dawn really is. What people think it is it's a super weapon that will help them defeat the Machine Menace. But in reality, no, it's just a Gaia. But it's to basically give people hope, because in actuality, there was no hope of survival for the humans of that time in like the 2040s. This generation of humans is about 990, wait no, about 900 and I'd say like 900 years in the past. Or in the future. And so she's basically kind of trying to unravel it and have these messages for future generations to find. So in the process of getting those, I've also grabbed a couple collectibles. One is something called a Pangea figurine, which will allow us to unlock a face paint from in the Jurassic Park esque theme park. I think it's
Another crooked
in the spot where Disneyland is supposed to be. And you can there's like special like codes that you input, and then the other one I'm collecting are these Delver's trinkets, which are a bunch of Oseram that ended up fighting over some treasure. So there's 7 Delver's trinkets, 5 or 6 aerial captures, and then Pangea figurines are 5. For this one, I gotta be a little careful. Gotta get this campfire, but I can't.
I've gone off course. I'll have to start over.
And that happened. So, what I was trying to do was carefully activate.
Don't worry.
Carefully activate that campfire. Because campfires can be activated when you're 40 meters, paces, whatever you want to call the measurement, away from them in any cardinal direction. And with that aerial capture, as you can see, I was just past it. Because if you're within 39 or 38 meters of the campfire, you are going to lose the signal. 39 is kind of cutting it close, but 40, you're okay. So now I have to start it all over again. So a PB here is out of the question.
That's okay, because you're still killing it regardless, and it's very clear that you are an absolute master of the lore that goes into this game, because I'm truly just enjoying getting to pick your brain and learn about the intricacies of this world.
Yes. I guess at this point, so if anybody's wondering why I'm doing this, like, fun barrel roll, it's a mechanic with flying where the Sunwing can do a barrel roll. And what this does is actually saves time. So I actually, I don't know exactly in the main game how much it saves overall. I think it's like a couple, up to anywhere from like a minute to 2 minutes. But I actually did some testing of myself on my own, where I started from essentially where the beginning of the main game any percent run is, and went all the way to a boat that's supposed to take you to San Francisco during the run. And I did it, we're just flying straight to it, and then barrel rolling, and I saved about like a minute and a half with barrel rolls.
Nice.
Before it was actually like a really nice little break for runners, and then they were introduced into the run by the amazing BDUD 5, and for more time save. So those are now common across like the top times for the run in any of the runs.
It's inevitable.
All right, now that we've fast traveled, we're gonna get a music box, and then we are going to we'll get another aerial capture. We can't quite get it yet because another tower defense is essentially in the way, but we are going to go to a cauldron, and the cauldron, again, another skip found by BDUD. This skip that we're doing, this out of bounds skip, saves 5 minutes in the run. Because this cauldron is massive, and it has the intended route. You go into the cauldron, and then you get into this gigantic room, and you have to drag around these crates to activate these like plates and stuff to open a door. There was a point where you could like stand on the plate and just like kind of slide or like roll into it, like without having to drag it around, but then the devs found out about it and patched it, so you can't do it anymore. But then we found this, then this out of bound was found, and it saves like 5 minutes because you can completely skip it all.
Following its flight path should repair the data on it.
It seems like there's a lot of love in the chat, not just for you, Doc, but for the skills of B-Dud to find more skips and more things to exploit to lower that time little by little.
Oh, yes.
So I want to just give a quick shout out and reminder that Astrobot is our milestone bonus game. If we are able to raise $1,800 by the end of this run, and we currently sit at $1,645.60, we will unlock the Astrobot bonus run. We'll get to see B-Dud take on Astrobot. Cutest game of the cute year last year. Phenomenal, so much goodness. You're gonna want to see it, I promise you, chat. So if you are able to, please get your donations in. You can go ahead and type !donate into the chat, bring you over to our landing page for our donation. Make sure when you punch in your donation, you go down to the open incentive, select that lesbian cutscene kiss scene that we have lined up for you. Let's give a quick update as to where that is, everybody. So that is sitting at $55 of the $200 needed to unlock it. That is $145 away. We've only got about an hour and 20 minutes into the run in order to do that. So we're about, what, an hour and 5 minutes out from that?
Yeah.
We're about an hour out. So the time crunch is on, chat. I believe in you. I know that we can raise that $145 to get us to unlock that scene. Show that love wins, and all along the way, you're going to help us help Linear. So let's make it happen.
Okay, so for this out of bounds, as you can see, I had to like jump off Judas, my Sunwing, because I hit an invisible wall. And you can only call the Sunwing at certain points during this skip. And for the second part where I call Judas, I kind of turn the camera to look at the base of Cauldron Theta, and if I am just about even with the base, then I can actually just call Judas, and I will know that I will be in the right spot. So this, like I said, saves 5 minutes in the run. It was a massive find. Essentially, except for the Cauldron Gemini, which is part of the main game speed run, which is a required cauldron. It's the second required cauldron. It is, all cauldrons are broken in this game. There is some way to skip a majority of it. Unfortunately, despite how much we have looked and hoped, we have not found a massive skip for Gemini, because I know there are many runners who would love to skip it. But I think out of all the skips that have been found for cauldrons and in the Forbidden West, this is by far the biggest one. So I'm sliding through lava, yes, and that is only possible on story. Maybe easy. Anything normal or higher, you cannot. Instant death. And it doesn't help because I'm also wearing an outfit that has terrible resistance to fire. It's actually negative resistance. But yeah, this is the cauldron, and you can see it is massive. So we're gonna come over here. For each cauldron, when we override a core, we always have to fight a machine of some kind. So we're gonna drop down into low health. It's not a strat that's used too often on story, but we're going to use low health to increase our damage output, because I'm wearing an outfit that will increase my damage when I'm at the magic number of 201. So we're going to fire that. Crit, please! Thank you.
There we go.
Scan that. So we have to scan six machines. The Biogut, the normal variant, the Apex variant that I just fought, a Sting Spawn, 2 of the variants of a Water Wing, which is a machine we will encounter soon, and then the next machine after. Oh no, I can't, not yet. It's just a Horus. Go ahead.
Quick question for you. I was gonna ask. Other than Aloy, because I know you love the the series and the game. Who is your favorite character in the entire series?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't run this by you prior, so I'm getting you
no,
cold
it's
off.
just it's a tough, and both of them are part of the tribe, the Oseram, which are known as like the Tinkerers. People in chat will know who the two Oseram I'm talking about. So, I you know what? Because I have an emote that looks like him, it'd have to be Gildan, who we'll be meeting shortly. And then the close second is Petra.
Oh, we've got love for Kotalo. We've got a lot for Gildan, and that kind of really quickly brings me to a $5 donation from Scar that says donating to get more Horizon and Astrobot. Count me in. Good luck, Doc and B-Dud. Let both your runs be blessed by Gildan.
Yes, our Lord and Savior.
And while we got some good momentum rolling in, we got a lot of love coming in for you, Doc. We got a $25 donation from Soulmass218, and they say, let's go lesbians. Come on, chat. We're making some great progress on that lesbian cutscene. I believe in y'all. We can make this happen.
Yes, I know we can make it happen. All right. So as you can see, like the skiff was initially here, but now it's here. It like teleports to different parts of the map. So we use that to our advantage to fast travel, because we can't fast travel to locations such as settlements or campfires until we discover them. But the skiff is the exception, even if it's in part of the map we have not found. So we're gonna do a bunch of collecting of stuff. So if you want to read any more announcements or anything, you're welcome to do that.
Absolutely, I've always got you covered, Doc. So, we just got a $50 donation from Let's Go Lesbians, and they say, let's go linear. Wait, I mean lesbians. I mean LinearC. I mean, let's go both of them. Thank you so much for that donation. Y'all, we are making phenomenal progress on that lesbian cutscene incentive. Quick update on that. We currently sit at $105 of the 200 needed to unlock it. That's only $95 away, y'all. We have about an hour and 20 into the run to make it happen, but you are coming in strong with all the love for Doc, all the love for Gildoon, and most importantly, all the love for LinearC. Thank you so much, everybody. ! Donate. Let's reach that incentive, y'all.
Alright, so basically what I'm getting a couple campfires, and a campfire and a shelter for later. And then we're gonna get this last collectible, which is another Delver's Trinket, and then we'll go to another place to activate a shelter and get a Delver's Trinket. And then we're gonna use fast travel, RFS fast travel to get to our next area. So basically it's taking advantage of checkpoints in certain quests and places to basically move Aloy across the map without having to open the map and fast travel. It can save like a couple seconds. We're gonna get this shelter here for later. And this is actually the change that helped me get my PB. So I am happy to show it off. But for those who saw my run and know where we'll be ending up, we will get to see everybody's the Horizon community's favorite Oseram, Gildan. So we'll get this last collectible in this split. Don't climb up, Aloy, please. Nope, drop down. Drop down. Drop down. Thank you. And RFS. And so how this works is like the Delver's Trinkets, they have their own autosave, but they don't have it auto. They don't. It's a collectibles autosave. But this one creates a new checkpoint on the in terms of like discovering this relic rune to fast travel here. So this particular skip here was actually found by another runner who mostly does Burning Shores, Missing Driver. Before we would have to like pull a lot of levers, then we'd have to move a bunch of carts, carry a heavy battery twice, 3 times maybe. But this actually saves like a minute, I think, close to a minute. Just like collecting the ornament, which is one of the collectibles that we need for this. Because getting the ornament, the game thinks you've already completed the puzzle. And in fact, we have not. Because in order to get to this spot, you have to have moved everything. But just some careful platforming and maneuvering.
Okay,
and
on
you
my
can
way.
quickly open this door. And now, let's say hello to Gildan!
Hey.
Back in so
And
We last encountered Gildan in the Frozen Wilds, the DLC of Horizon Zero Dawn.
well.
yes,
You
And of course,
There you
he
go,
had pulled a lever. And now he's pulled another lever and got himself trapped.
nice place.
indeed.
So in this one, we're helping him find his friend Olvar.
Regrettably, I tumbled into the sea as
and
the
we're
ruin
gonna
entered our sights.
go in here.
Here I present our hinged hindrance, the finale of our grand tour. Finally in.
So I don't mean to offend anybody with this reference, but everything we're talking about with Gildan and the lever just reminds me of the Emperor's New Groove and pull the lever. Wrong
Oh yes,
lever!
exactly. Nope, you're not wrong. You're
It's
not
so much
wrong.
love. So much love for Gildan in the chat. Keep it going. Keep it going. And you know what's keeping it going, y'all? We are now over $1,700 for Linear. You are amazing. That is $89.40 away from reaching $1,800. Let's just call it $90 away from reaching that Astro Bot bonus run. We are making so great progress. And as we look over towards that extra bonus scene for the Horizon Forbidden West, Seika and Aloy kiss scene, we are at $120 of the $200 needed to unlock it. That is $80 away, y'all. You are doing a phenomenal job. And we got over $1,700 with a $15 donation from ISO 2768MK that says, "Let's go, Ari and B-Dud." Thank you so much for that, y'all. Keep it going. I know we're making great progress on this.
So, I actually took advantage of a mechanic. So, when you're actually up on the platform where I was grabbed this key, there's a machine gun that you can use, or a Deathbringer gun you can use to fight the burrowers I just fought. But if you stay up there, it's going to spawn in an Apex burrower. Maybe 2. It depends on how long it takes you to fight all of the machines. But if you drop down to the ground to fight the canister burrowers that are running around, you can actually just prevent the spawning of that Apex burrower.
It's probably when I pushed
So
him
it
off the
saves
boat.
like anywhere, depending on how clean things are, anywhere from like 2 seconds to like it can save up to 20 seconds. And we used our favorite, one of the best Valor Surges, Chain Burst, which anything within, I think, a 15-meter radius of a machine that gets hit also receives the same damage. So you get that damage plus a knockback. So it does quite a bit of damage. And we're going to give Gildan, because he learned that his friend Olvar actually betrayed him by pushing him off a boat and stealing his looking glass. So we give him a focus. And now we're going to continue on with Seika. So this part is very, very important if you are doing a hundo run. of Burning Shores, or just doing this casually, and you decide to fly around with Seika, you need to land. If you do not land, you cannot get 100%. You are hard locked out of 100% completion in the Burning Shores if you do not land and can proceed to do this next skip. Because the game despawns a machine that you need to get access to an aerial capture and a Delver's trinket. And while Seika is on the Sunwing. And it will continue to assume Seika is on the Sunwing unless you land. And I found that out the hard way. I was on an amazing pace. World record pace. And then I couldn't finish it because the Stormbird, which we will run into later, was not there. And then eventually we figured out that it was because of Seika. I love Seika, but that was a low blow and very painful.
Every relationship has its ups and downs, right, Doc?
It does, and that was a downer, a huge one. Yes! Marathon luck is working in my favor. Hello,
right.
Judas. I was wondering if that was gonna happen. I haven't had Judas join us in here in a few runs. Sometimes when you do this skip, this out of bounds skip, Judas will come in and join me. It doesn't necessarily save you time or anything, but it's just cool to kind of have Judas because it kind of saves you from waiting for Seika. Because Seika can soft lock in this. I don't like that placement. So, but essentially I have to wait until she fires that handhold. And then I put those spike traps. 1, 2. And then I'm gonna wait until she starts firing, because if you go too fast, you can actually soft lock her where she won't just kind of stand there at the ballista and not do anything. So we're gonna fire 5 specific ballistas in 5 specific spots. Where 4 of them are handholds for Seika. And then 1 is a repel point for Aloy. And then we're gonna fire 3 spike traps because we're gonna have 3 more clamberjaws, apex clamberjaws up here. In ultra hard, if you do this on ultra hard, it's better to actually go over there and place them because of course the machines have more damage. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait on Judas, because Judas can despawn when you RFS, but if you're on Judas when you RFS here, he will stay down here.
Oh, you think you can do better than me?
And the reason why we RFS is it's to just teleport Seika a little bit further along their path.
Not bad.
And
now, last climb.
there you are.
You know what to do.
Where'd you go?
Yep, on it.
And then we're going to go over here. No, nope, nope, nope.
That's all right.
I blame you. I don't blame Judas. I blame Aloy. There you go. Now we're good.
There you go.
So at this point, we're going to go through here, and so this is the Heaven Sent HQ, and this was once the Griffith Observatory in Griffith Observatory in LA. And Wandra, of course, with his billions of dollars, purchased it from the state of Cat City, or whoever owns it, the rights to it publicly right now. and turned it into his headquarters for his mining operation. We have found these paintings that are drawn by Seika's sister. And of course, she hasn't told Aloy that yet, but Seika recognizes the drawings. So we're gonna go up here. This is a clever little thing by the devs, by the way. These next lines. So.
Huh. How did you know the numbers? Just lucky, I guess.
So yeah, you can actually just, if you know what the code is, you can just go up there, and they even had some lines in place in case you just went up there instead of solving the puzzle.
Oh, so they knew, like, you might actually just blow through it, so they had something prepared for it.
Yep.
That's super.
Yeah, so the intention of it is to examine that globe and to find all the different codes and the data points to figure out what it is. I did it during my very first playthrough. After I knew what it was, so I do not recall what I need to do for it.
They weren't on the best of terms at the end.
I just know what the number is.
Can make it hard to let go.
So we're gonna activate this hologram, and then I'm just gonna run down and wait for it to play. It takes about I think it's about 45 seconds to a minute to complete. If I was doing a full game hundo, for this, I would actually go over here to grab a chest, which has a legendary blast sling, and some brimshine, which is used to buy weapons in the Burning Shores, or the legendary weapons in the Burning Shores. But since I already have the weapons, I do not need to go there, so I just wait. And then we're going to go to everybody's favorite section of the run, which is the bird section. And everybody's favorite majestic, murderous Glinthawks. And Skydrifters and Sunwings.
You were saying that this is everyone's favorite part of the run, but for you, is this also the part that you love the most?
Not really. No, I hate it.
Then what's your
favorite? The devs actually had to patch this fight because these Skydrifters were living up to their name and drifting away from the area. So it took forever to find them. So I've activated chain bursts and we're gonna fight them, but it's bad. Can be like the RNG for like where they are can be really bad sometimes.
Burbs can be burbs sometimes, but if it's not the burb fight, then what is your part that you love the most of the run, if you have it?
So there we go. Oh no, I didn't want to shoot the peccary. I wanted to shoot the Sunwing. Oh, of course you land over here. Of course it's Gildan, hands down. It's Gildan. When we go say hello to Gildan. Casually, if I'm playing this, it's definitely the Horus fight that's coming late. Where did you come from? Take it, you're not helping me right now. And I was hit by plasma. And if this was ultra hard, I probably would have been dead.
But it's not, and you're through. We can blame that one on me for asking the question while you're in the midst of it, because
oh no, that actually is not an uncommon thing where because of how they fly around, sometimes like you just miss them, and the chain burst because they're not necessarily flying together. So the chain burst doesn't get them all. So part of it is I assumed that they had like been nabbed by the chain burst. But I guess they were too far away. Oh shoot! Wait. Oh, I fast traveled to the wrong thing. Oops. Okay, so in reality for this, I'm supposed to fast travel to the campfire in this settlement. And then I get this campfire. Then I fast travel to this campfire.
Reporting in soon.
I start this quest.
Fifth day in a row.
Talk to Theoa.
I see compliance is keeping busy.
And then we're gonna do something that we like to call skiff-nanigans. So this is again taking advantage of the fact that we can fast travel to a skiff. But this is also taking advantage of the fact that being on a skiff will create essentially like a kind of save point. So we get on this skiff, and this is very important. You fast travel while Aloy is still steering the skiff. That's very important. And then you talk to Seika, because Seika insists we do not take the Sunwing anymore, and we take her skiff rather than flying, because she doesn't like it, because she's a Marine. And then we get to have a race.
I'm seeing a lot.
Normally you're supposed to sit on the skiff and let Seika drive us, but nope. Hi, Seika.
I'm seeing a lot of love in the chat for skiff-nanigans.
And so we'll race her. So one of the key things for this is Aloy, at this point you can like do whatever for a set period on the Sunwing, but there is a point where you will automatically get thrown off the Sunwing, and that is when Seika reaches the beach. So I'm trying to get to this, which is another aerial capture. Nope. Wrong button. So I can get to it and kind of time where I'm gonna fall off.
An improvised transmitter. Flight path should be nearby, along with
The route before I did this route, which is like kind of cutting across. This is basically where you can kind of take advantage. All right, so it may be able to time it right. So taking advantage of the shortcuts. So we're gonna fly here, because there's where the path is. Jump down. And I think by this time now, Seika should reach the beach. So put in this code. Get this Pangea
figurine for the collection.
And then at least she's made it on. Oh, sweet. Cool. So yeah, so we're good. I don't think I'm gonna fall off.
We were sent to extract.
So yeah, if wait, what?
Start. Try again.
Oh. I thought I got rid of all this marathon luck when I was having trouble with a bunch of stuff earlier before my PB.
Uninitiated, what's going on?
So I lost the signal for the aerial capture. I don't know how. It makes no sense as to why, because I was on it, the path. I can take a little bit of, I have some leeway where I can take some shortcuts, but this one obviously was like no. So this is Lillian Barnett has gone to the Beverly Hills to look to go to a bougie baby clinic, and she's complaining because everybody's being turned into biomass slushies because the Horus and its machines eat biomass for fuel. And so we're gonna fly up here. Normally you would have to like loop around, but the path is actually pretty close. So we're gonna do this, get the aerial capture, and then we're gonna continue on to find Seika's sister.
Doesn't look like there's a way past it.
You know, I didn't have Soylent Green biomass slushies on my punch card here for February, but we've got it.
I don't think anybody did when we played this. We were like, wait, what? So to get past this force field, we have to override override some control nodes. On ultra hard.
See if we can shut this thing down.
Oh, that could have been a death. On ultra hard, you want to do this stealthy because you actually lose time if you do this the approach I'm gonna do, which is actually kill the violets. And the reason I do that is because I want to collect valor. And so this will help me on later on in the run. Normally this would be in preparation for the split with Gildan, but because I moved it, this is to have it ready for other splits. The way you collect valor is by doing damage, putting machines in brittle states, and also removing components, killing machines to get more valor. This is basically where Seika can make or break a run in the any % version of this.
Ancestors, I hope my people are in there.
I will say, I know you've had some marathon luck so far, but I really just think it's the game trying to buy us a bit more time to get that lifeline for Linnea, get that number to go up. And we got a $25 donation from Anonymous with less than 3 at the message. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for that donation. We currently sit at $1,735.60 raised for Linear. Y'all, you are making phenomenal progress. That Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC incentive that's opened the Seika and Aloy kiss scene, that sits at $145 of the $200 needed to unlock it. We are only $55 away from making that happen. As we sit, it looks like we're like 20 minutes out from that closing. So, chat, this is the time. Get your donations in, get your skiffnanigans rolling, so we can try to make that incentive happen. And again, you're helping us help Linear by doing that.
Okay, so this is another out-of-bounds skip. This was also found my missing driver. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna essentially scan this. Yes, I got it. Okay, so we're gonna scan this rocket ship, and we want to scan it in a particular order. Basically, you want to scan either the printer, the horse printer, or the rocket booster first. And then the middle one you want to scan last, because that is the one with the longest dialogue. Because as soon as you scan it, you can fast travel out of here. And what it does is it allows us to skip a scene where we're just standing around waiting for Laundra to give a speech. Or a hologram Laundra giving a speech. The way you know it's worked, every time you RFS,
I've seen enough.
All you hear is Aloy saying, "Okay, I've seen enough." So for this next part, it's very important when you do this skip that you hit triangle twice to initiate the dialogue with these Quinn. Because the first time the game is like, "Oh wait, Seika's not with you and she's part of this." And then the second time, Seika's now with you and can participate in the cutscene. Because if you RFS after the first triangle and don't get the cutscene, you're gonna be brought back all the way to the outside of this bunker versus being transported inside. And for this section, you can either talk to 2 NPCs, 2 Quinn, to get information, or you can just come over here, scan that piece of paper, and it will give you the words that you must show that your appreciation and amazement for Laundra. And then we RFS, and there we go. And then we're transported back in the room with the rocket. So I'm gonna switch this. And then for this part, we have to override 3 control nodes. I used to actually use like a blast sling to kill the Quinn. Unfortunately, it's not ideal sometimes, most of the time, because the game prioritizes looting over overriding cores. So if they're dead, Aloy wants to pillage the corpses for shards instead of overriding the control node core. So I just use smoke bombs in order to get the chance to override the cores. And of course, you gotta time your dodges so you don't get hit, because the stun lock on Aloy when she gets hit by melee attacks is annoying. Like that. And then I'm using a mechanic, as you can see, I'm slide canceling. If anybody's seen any Zero Dawn speedruns, we roll to go faster. They nerfed that big time because even though you don't see it, there is a hidden dodge roll mechanic where you can only do a certain amount. One shot death. And then I'm gonna craft more smoke bombs for later for the arena.
She seems so lost.
And then
Why do I feel like that too?
craft more of this.
How do I fix this?
This.
For now, I'd better take a look at that zenith weapon.
And then we're gonna examine this. Unfortunately, there is no way you can get out of this part. You have to have Aloy examine it. There's no way to skip this part. You can't, because unfortunately, in order to fast travel out of here, you have to like completely leave this complex. There isn't any way to make it so you can get to this door faster. So this is just like, this is another good time for announcements as I make my way.
Absolutely, Doc. I've got you covered. We have a $5 donation from Anonymous, and they say, $5 lesbian train? Let's go, lesbians. Clap, 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 clap. Let's go, lesbians. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for that donation. Y'all, we are at $1,740.60 raised. We are only $50 away from unlocking that Seika and Aloy kiss scene. Chat, I know that we can make that happen. We are only about, what? We're about 15 minutes out from that cutoff happening. I believe in you. We can show that love always wins, and we can get that cutscene for Seika and Aloy unlocked. Again, $50 separates us in making it happen. And just so you know, that also means that we are only $60 away from unlocking the Astrobot bonus run that needs to be met by the end of this run. But I know it is in good hands with y'all. Keep those donations rolling in and help us help Linear.
All right, so now we are at the beach. We have a cutscene between Aloy and Seika, where it's even more obvious that they have the hots for each other. And she tells, they both essentially have shared the truth with each other. In the compound, Aloy told Seika about Nemesis and why she's in the Burning Shores, and then Seika now has revealed on the beach why she was so cagey about that painting. So what I just did was a dialogue cancel. Aloy actually has a clone sister. She has a sister, Beta, who was a clone raised by the Zeniths in order to, when they return to Earth, to get access to the Zero Dawn system. And Beta is helping Aloy with the Ada Gaia to get a water wing override. And so we are about to collect the parts. So we are gonna loot the corpses of 2 water wings. They are always in the same spot, and you always loot the same part from the same water wing every single time. But they're right here, and there's a bunch of snap maws. You can use a smoke bomb to distract them, but you just loot, get them, dash out. Wait, nope, campfire is closer. Go back to the campfire, then you do another dialogue cancel.
Fascinating.
Hi, Gildan. Hi, Gildan.
Beta, I've got the parts.
And then Gildan is there enjoying perusing through his focus. Guy is assisting him. And then we fast travel back to this shelter to craft the water wing override. I'm gonna loot my stash. In the for the stash, so there's a stash that you can get access to that basically is overflow for anything you loot. You cannot use it in any percent runs. You can't use them in any percent runs where you start from a fresh file, for like, because on the PS5, because of the, there are pre-order bonuses within the stash. You can use them in Hundo because, you know, a Hundo would take forever if we couldn't use the stash. But in New Game Plus, you can raid the stash as much as you want since the pre-order bonuses don't matter. But on PC, you're able to use the stash in any percent runs because all the pre-order bonuses are the same across each version. This is also another time to read any announcements because we're just going to be barrel rolling across and tanking all of these missiles, which you cannot do in Ultra Hard.
Happy to do so, Doc. We had a $5 donation from Anonymous, and they say, 1 ticket to the lesbian train, please. Does this train have service to Astrobot? Thank you so much, Anonymous, for that donation. Y'all, that $5 lesbian train is now. You are continuing to make phenomenal progress towards that cutscene incentive and unlocking it. We are at $1,745.60. We are not only making progress towards that incentive, but we are so close to unlocking the Astrobot bonus run. I believe in y'all, chat. You're making great progress. Keep those tickets coming, and we can unlock it and help us help Linear.
You okay? Without that mask?
Alright. I'm gonna have to mute myself for a second and focus because I need to make sure something doesn't happen.
They've been locked up in the volcano since the last batch came in.
Hope they show up.
The flight path leads toward that Zenith defense system. I'll have to try this later. Another corrupted recording on this transmitter. Following its flight path should help repair it. Landra Productions. Another one of his businesses, I guess.
Seems like he wanted to have a hand in everything.
Sorry, we're good. The reason why I muted myself is, in an earlier run today, I lost another one who was on really good pace because Judas died during a cutscene and during this part of it, and that never happens, like, ever. Somehow Judas started flying again, and then the tower defense, which was still active, shot at Judas down, and unfortunately there's no infinite machine call here like in Zero Dawn, so when your machine dies, you gotta override a new one. And I was basically stuck on Pangea Island. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I could not hear the tower firing off missiles and hitting a machine.
If that happened to me, I would mute myself for different reasons, but because I'd probably be prone to swearing if I ended up losing Judas, so...
Oh, you should have seen that. I was streaming this. I was livid.
Right behind you.
I was livid when it happened. I was like, I was speechless and livid, and it was all manner of everything is so. But now we're gonna steal key, kill this one guy. You only need to kill him. Killing the other guards are optional, which is not what I noticed during my first playthrough, because the kill the Quinn guards does, you know, in brackets optional, does not appear until after you kill Federer. So I tried to stealth my way through killing all of them during my first playthrough, where I could have just killed him, looted him, pulled off a Hitman, if anybody's seen like Hitman speedruns where they loot an unconscious person before he falls to the ground. Nope, can do that. But so now we're gonna find out more about what Landra is doing.
Might be that building nearby.
There's a lock
So
on that
we're
door.
gonna
Let's see if Federer's
go
key
here.
opens it. Okay. Let's see what we can find in here. What's this?
So we have 4 items we have to examine. We have to examine the storage unit, the
Looks like a
canisters
storage
over
unit of
there,
some kind.
piece of paper, and then a
Better
set
see
of
what stands up.
beakers or vials or whatever. You can soft lock this section, so you have to be careful because this is in a particular order where it's like the most efficient.
Smell it from here. Like,
So I need to be careful when I examine this.
Maybe.
Oh,
This
and I
note
think
seems
I.
to indicate that hair was
Okay,
taken
we're
from
good.
Quinn. And
Doc, is it okay if I jump in really quickly?
Yeah.
All right, we have just met the lesbians incentive. Let's go!
For an experiment.
I
All
knew we were gonna make
right.
it.
Or maybe just for taking
Absolutely,
samples.
that is phenomenal. Thank you so much, everybody. You have helped raise an additional $200 for the amazing Linear, and we have unlocked the lesbian kiss scene for this run. Thank you so much, everybody. That was helped by a $10 donation from Anonymous that says, let's go, and $40 from BDud5. And they say, for the kiss. Good luck, Doc. You're doing great. And with that, we have unlocked that cutscene, and we are only $5 away from adding Astrobot onto the schedule. BDud5 and Astrobot, it's a date you're not going to want to miss. Go ahead, Chad. I know we can get across that 1800 mark. Let's make it happen.
Shorted.
All right. So,
New battery.
now we're gonna find out what this chair does and what Launder has been doing to the Quinn he has encountered.
Kind of look like.
Quick shout out to the raid that just popped in here. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Everybody, this is Lifeline for Linear. We are a 5-day mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC because sometimes you just need a little help from your friends. We are currently chilling here right now with Redoc 19 as she is absolutely destroying Horizon Forbidden West, burning shores 100%, and you're getting us at a great time because we just unlocked the lesbian kiss scene that is coming up very, very shortly here, but we are only $5 away from also adding Astrobot on to the schedule. Y'all, you came at a great time. Come in, hang out, join with us, and have a fun time.
Yep. So now we are going to learn more of what this machine does and what the mysterious MSP is, which, spoiler alert,
I hope it resets
is
the
a
network.
brainwashing machine.
Hey, the door just unlocked.
I actually,
I'm coming your way.
I did a special challenge run. I had to unlock, redeem on my stream, where I did this entire challenge
What is this?
with a weapon known as the meme weapon as the toy bow. That is what the emote in my photo in the corner is holding, that you can find in the Burning Shores. It only does about 1 tick of damage. That run took me just over 10 hours to do with the toy bow
that doesn't make any
on
sense.
story. So I created as a highlight kind of little clever little thing with like the triangle and the orange and the. So it was it's one of those little things that we encounter during the run when we learn about Launder brainwashing the Quinn he encountered to make him his loyal subjects, which is
To stop him.
on point for Walter Landra. And now we meet his AI Nova,
Okay. Subject.
who has asked with the in exchange for helping Aloy and Sega, she has asked Aloy to basically kill her because she is tired of working with Landra. I was a little saddened. Like, I was really hoping that Nova would be a new ally, kind of like hopefully Cyan from the Frozen Wilds would be, but having to deal with Landra for over 900 years, I can totally understand why she did what she asked Aloy to do that. So I do not fault her. But Nova has unlocked the entrance to this volcano and turned off the tower defense. So now we are going to fight an Apex Slaughter Spine. One shot. Alright.
Nice. Speaking of unlocking things, Doc, we have just hit $1,800 and we have now added Astrobot to the schedule.
Astrobot!
Let's go, everybody. Because of your generosity, we will now see B-Dud5 take on the cutest game of last year, the amazing Astrobot, and it all is because of you. The last $5 came in from Anonymous that said 1 ticket to get us to Astrobot. Thank you so much, y'all. And actually, really quickly, they attributed that donation to a new bid war that I didn't even know was up, which was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge Old School Co-op. Whether if you want to rock into the classics or jam out to modern tunes, you can choose which OST they're going to hear during the entirety of AT Tree and Douglas's run. They put that, it looks like, to the retro, so good for them. It's a bid war for you to attribute your donations to when you go forward, but I am super hyped. We're gonna get that lesbian kiss scene, and we've got Astrobot. Thank you so much, everybody.
Alright, so now we're doing, so this is actually kind of taking advantage of some, like, little tight turns we can take to kind of cheese these aerial captures. And basically what it's taking advantage of is the fact that the aerial capture is similar to the aerial capture that was over near where the Hollywood sign was and where we encountered Zeph and the other Quen, is the proximity the aerial capture route overlaps, and that kind of saves us some flying. Except for the last one, like I said earlier, you have to pretty much stick close to the route or else you're gonna lose the signal. And losing the signal on each time basically loses you about a minute each time. So first off, I'm gonna change my Valor Surge to Radio Blast for the next scene, because we are going to fight the machine that destroyed the Earth, the Horus. So we're gonna go here, and we're actually gonna, this is a fun little mechanic that kind of was augmented by the Burning Shores DLC on PS5, which is, so when you are at grapple points, you're able to launch yourself, but this air that I'm getting right here is only possible because of the Burning Shore. So essentially to do that, what you do is you hit circle to launch from the grapple point, and then at the same time, almost within like a frame or two, you hit square, which is to deploy, or whatever you bind the shield wing to, and you will get massive air there. There actually used to be a skip that was found by another runner, Marin. It was aka the Marin skip, where you could actually like use your Sunwing here to basically skip this entire part here. Unfortunately, it was patched out by the devs when they found out we were using it in speedruns. But the thing is like, it's one of those things where, you know, people who play it casually would probably not think to do, so it's kind of annoying when they patched it out. Nope. No, you don't. There you go. So next, I'm gonna use this little weapon technique, Sticky Bomb. Otherwise, we have to wait for Seika to get into position and destroy that. So when it explodes, it's gonna destroy it for us. And then we destroy the second one. And then now the Horus lives! And we must fight this giant machine. So this is the I'm gonna get 2 scans here. One is the Horus, and then the other is the Water Wing. And so we use this advantage of Seika flying the Water Wing to scan it during this, because we have to wait anyway, because this is a auto scroller. This is phenomenal. Casually. Speedrun, it gets kind of old very quick and can be very annoying and finicky when you try to do this very quickly. But what I'm going to do is I am going to take advantage of the fact that this is an auto scroller to try and trigger, essentially trigger the end point of the first part by destroying a heatsink, because there are 2 heatsinks that we need to destroy. This is the first one. So I have to wait a certain point, because if you're not careful, you're gonna hit a HP gate, essentially, where you can't. Yep, I hit the gate. So basically, if you don't get enough damage at a certain point, when it does in the auto scroller, it's like kind of pauses you at it, and you can't do any more damage. So I think it's. So I'm at that point where I have to wait for it to get stuck to get the rest of the damage. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go over here to another part of the arena where we will fight the Horus later, and I am going to collect some volatile sludge, which is a not rare, but it's essentially a needed for a lot of our more advanced weapons and ammo, and they only gave us 15 that we can hold in our resource pouch. 15! It costs, just so you know, it costs 3 volatile sludge to craft a 3-pack of the elite precision arrows. And another way that we, in runs where we take advantage, we get volatile sludge, is putting down elite traps and dismantling them, because we can get, with a maxed out trap skill tree, you can actually loot 2 volatile sludge from it. But yeah, I'm waiting for a particular line or from Seika to indicate that I can finish off this heatsink. But usually I can get it in like one shot. Okay, so now this is the point, so I can come over here and finish off the heatsink, make sure I don't get hit. And then...
It's stuck! Good work.
And then... I just wait.
While we wait, Doc, I had a question for you. I know you have phenomenal times, and like we noted at the intro, 2 world records for Horizon games, but do you speedrun anything else, or is Horizon like your favorite go-to? This is your thing.
Horizon is my favorite go-to. I got into speedrunning by watching Horizon speedruns. Like, I learned about speedrunning like games. I kind of knew about it before, but I learned about it initially from the Hitman community, and then I somehow was trying to finish something in Zero Dawn, and I searched one of our moderators, Elkjar TV, and for one of his videos, and I then kind of joined the community from there, and then I started running hundos, and so that's what I've been doing for almost 2 years.
Awesome. And for, what kind of led you to Horizon? What about it were you like, this is it? Like, this is the game that really connects with me? And if you're willing to share, of course, as to what really made you connect with this game?
I don't know. I just really enjoyed the combat. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. I really enjoyed the story was really what got me, to be perfectly honest. Like, it was just like I was playing it, and like I'm trying to figure out like what's going on, and like seeing if I could predict what was happening. And as it went on, and then when they revealed everything, I was just like, wait, what? It's like wasn't a super weapon, and I think that's what really hooked me on the series. In terms of, now, the opinions differ between people, like on which is their favorite. Oh, great, Aloy stuff. Which is their favorite and stuff, but I think story-wise, Zero Dawn is by far my favorite. The story in Forbidden West is good, but it's nowhere near Zero Dawn. Just more so because of the emotional impact of it, and the writing in it is really good. But in terms of like combat and stuff, I actually like the combat, except for the melee combat, because Aloy cannot block melee attacks when the NPCs she fights can. Except for melee combat, I actually like the combat in Forbidden West. So I mean, yeah, they made it way more complicated than it needed to be, but I still enjoy it.
Keep a lookout.
Let's clear your phenomenal shot. You're just taking everything down very, very succinctly. Really great accuracy with everything.
Okay, so for this, you can actually take out all 4. There is a strat using the Valor Surge, the Trap Valor Surge, to take out all 4 arms at once. It has a 1 in 4 chance of actually soft locking the game. I have not been successful at it. I use this strat because I'm not very consistent with the trap strat or the sticky bomb strat. I think that if you use the sticky bomb to get 3 of the 4 arms, it's about, I want to say 30 seconds faster than my time for this split. Oh yeah. But this is the one I'm most consistent at, and this is the one that I like the most. Oh shoot.
Get some more Zero Dawn love in the chat. I thought Forbidden West was too long. I love, adore Zero Dawn.
Now we're gonna fight Laundra in the Horus, since we've destroyed all the heat sinks. There's technically 1 more heat sink left, and Laundra is attached to it. So we're gonna swim in here. This is actually the section in the run that I did to my PB today that cost me a sub. That cost me a sub 137 because Aloy decided to do what she loves to do best and not grab onto things. So I had to wait 20 seconds. I had to wait like 20-30 seconds for a rotation to occur, and then it was just Aloy being Aloy.
Aloy agrees that sometimes you just have to let go.
Yep. Thankfully, I didn't die. I landed on the rotating platform because you can fall and die, and when you fall into the like heat below.
Has to be wired in to control this thing.
There is actually an out-of-bound strat for this, found by like Missing Driver and B-Dud. They kind of like have a better sense of what the strat is than I do. I am never gonna attempt it in runs. I know that much, partly because it's one of those that's very finicky, and I'd rather not deal with that. Oh shoot. So yeah, you have to time your dodges. You have to dodge just before it hits, and you won't get shocked and knocked back. On higher difficulties, Aloy will get completely shocked. So we're gonna hit these connectors. So the funny thing, the parish that he says, I actually thought it was a different one when I first played this, and for the longest time I did until I actually read the subtitles. But so we're gonna
Another way to drain its power.
get all 3. But for the strat that I used, where I use the Spectre Gauntlet, because of how the Spectre Gauntlet works, if you release R2 too quickly, it's not gonna fire. So, alright. This one, I gotta time this. Okay. Perfect.
Silence? You came.
Sweet. Okay, so what I did with here is I started this cutscene just as Aloy started talking with Silence. Because if I waited just a frame later, I would have had to wait until Silence stops talking and Aloy stops talking to initiate that cutscene. But if you time the fast travel and the button press to sit and wait at the campfire, you can actually have the dialogue play in the background while the cutscene is going, and it will save you about like, I think the conversation was like 15 seconds or something.
I was on the pier. I hate it.
So it can be a pretty massive time save. Alright, so then I'm gonna fast travel here. We're gonna talk to Seika.
South of Launcher's bunker.
And then we're gonna meet her. where we first met at Hollywood Boulevard.
I assume that means that our cutscene, our hard-earned cutscene, will be coming up shortly.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna do some button mashing first to get to a certain point, and then actually no. Wait. No, we'll just watch the entire cutscene. It's fine.
I think the audience deserves it for such a job well done and how hard they worked in order to make that happen.
And we also have plenty of time. Despite the 2 goofs with the 2 aerial captures, we're actually making really, really good time. So enjoy the cutscene.
Got your sister back, your people. What's next for the woman of the hour?
You're the one who ripped apart a metal devil from the inside. I think you should get a bit of credit too.
Maybe a little.
As for what's next, the Admiral's going to need my help to reunite our half of the expedition with Alva up north. And after that, I don't know. I don't think things will ever be the same with my sister or my people.
You're not gonna sail back with him?
I want to see home again. Someday. But things have changed. The Quen don't know what to do with me, and I don't know where I fit in. I guess you know what that's like.
Yeah.
Seika is not brought back for Horizon 3. We all need to storm Guerrilla headquarters.
For me, it meant
I'm sorry, she needs it.
Where I
And
grew
Gildan.
up.
Gildan also, yes, of course, Gildan. He needs to be
I
brought
wasn't
back.
wanted.
But
But the thing is, the last few months, I've realized that home isn't really a place at all. It's more like the people I want to be with.
I like that. And, well, more and more I've been thinking, I want to be with you. And I was hoping that you felt the same way.
yes, I do.
And what if I do?
I think I know how to handle it. Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody, for helping make that happen.
I have a long road ahead of me.
I know. There are things I have to do too, but it's enough to know how you feel.
I don't know when I'm gonna see you again.
Me either. But no matter what happens, just don't forget about me. Okay?
Never.
Before this cutscene, we did have a brief appearance by Alva via Holo, so that she can connect with this half of the Quen fleet. So we have this is actually, so the scene where you start the cutscene with Seika at this point is actually the end point for the any percent run of this. The world record for this on story, I think, is close to is like a sub 50. I'm not sure, and that's held by Missing Driver, and then the ultra hard is just above a 50, I think.
Outstanding. I wanted to let the cutscene fully play out. I didn't want to interrupt it. or anything like that, because chat, you deserve the pat on the back. You deserve to get to watch all of it. Because of you, we were able to raise an additional $200 for Lifeline for Linear. Those monies going to help Linear, going to help Ken. I cannot think of a better cause than helping a mother and her child through a very difficult time, and y'all helped made that happen. And another thing you all helped make happen is that Astro Bot bonus run that's going to be coming up quick. But that's not all, everybody. We have a couple of new incentives for you to look towards if you are able to donate in the future as we come up here. We've got the Bid War of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge Old School Co-op. You get to pick which music's going to play in the background. Right now, Retro is in the lead. We have a brand new incentive for Super Mario Sunshine, and you can close off the night by watching Jukatox absolutely break Super Mario Sunshine by showing off a series of glitches that we didn't see in the main 80% run, including major out-of-bounds sequences, clipping through death planes, and sequence breaking with the power of fruit. That's $300 to unlock it, so if you go to donate, scroll on down to the open incentive, select that new incentive, Super Mario Sunshine Glitch Exhibition, and let's make it happen. And we still have a 2-for-1 special rolling for you. If we're able to reach $2,000 by the end of Astrobot, BDUD5 will perform a bonus run of Astrobot's recently released challenge level gauntlet, a series of extremely difficult sections testing his abilities, and an extra 20 minutes of levels added on to the run.
Ooh. That sounds exciting.
It will be very exciting. I've had a chance to see it before in the past, and they are difficult levels, to say the least.
I know, I've done them myself. I find it amazing the people who can do those really quick. So this is actually the point where remember early on I said you have to land so Seika can get off the sunwing. This is the reason why. The game despawns this Stormbird for because the Stormbird is actually immediately appears once you've destroyed the tower at the I don't even know what that's called in LA. Anyway, the tallest building in LA, place where the tower was. And the Stormbird spawns, but when Seika is on the Sunwing with Aloy, the Stormbird despawns. If Seika does not get off, and when you get to the beach and when you land, this Stormbird will never appear, and you are hard locked out of 100% completion. Because you need the Stormbird to activate these doors.
Another signal. Transmitter? I better get closer.
And of course, I found out that, like I said, the hard way.
If I want its data, I'll need to follow its flight path.
So what we're gonna do is this is again gonna take advantage of the RFS fast travel. So we're gonna we got the aerial capture to start it, and now we're gonna get a Delver's Trinket, which is the last one, and then RFS, and then this will actually spawn Aloy right underneath the aerial capture. And then we call Judas, who is now our faithful water wing, and we can do this aerial capture. And then we are going to finish the last 2 side quests of the Burning Shores. One, it will take place at LAX, and the other one will be somewhere in the middle of LA. I don't know where. No, Anaheim. Let me correct myself, it's Anaheim. Because, well, no, it's near Santa Monica Pier. We'll say that. Because that's actually where the Stormbird, you fight the Stormbird, is what was Santa Monica Pier. We're gonna collect the last Pangea figurine.
These shell walkers must have been from the shop. Looks like it's got some
And so I'm going to do this in a particular order because I want to get more Valor Surge back. So I can use Chain Burst, because that will help in one of the quests. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to what is left of LAX first. And we're going to fight everybody's favorite machines. The Waterworks. Right behind the Glinthawks. Those majestic, murderous Glinthawks. Which, the Majestic Murderous, for those that do not know, is a wonderful line, courtesy of Durval at the end of Horizon Zero Dawn, when you fight, with your fight with Hades. Right, we're gonna...
Might be the stress of the fuel. I'm stuck on that ruined bridge. I better get in there and clear out those machines.
So, the nice thing is that the machines all have predictable spawn points and routes. Ah, shoot. The one in particular that I'm trying to control is the Apex Stalker. Because that one, there you go. Of course, isn't invisible. But if I do this at a certain point, then I can guarantee, not necessarily a spawn point, but I will know exactly where the stalker is. Versus, running around and trying to figure out where it is. So I always kill the machines in the same exact order every single time, which is the Ravager, the 2 Ravagers first, then the Apex Lead Lasher on the ground, and then,
I'll have to clear them out.
I kind of, depending on where the stalker is, either the stalker first or other Apex Flasher. Oh, nope, I went Frost. Where are you? Gotta make sure I don't hit Judas. I've done that before. Where are you?
Okay, area's clear. I better take a closer look at this one.
We're gonna do a little fun little thing where we're gonna use sticky bombs to force Aloy out of her examine animation. And at this point, since I'm just examining a bunch of stuff, you're welcome to give any announcements.
Absolutely, Doc. Always have you covered. Everybody, we are currently sitting at $1,825.60 raised for Linear. And everybody, you are watching Linear for, Lifeline for Linear live on Twitch. It's a 5-day mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC, because sometimes you just need a little help from your friends. My name's AttyJoe, and we are hanging out here with Redoc19 as she is absolutely destroying Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores 100%, absolutely chugging through this. We are making such great progress towards our $2,000 milestone incentive that we have for you, and that would be the Astrobot Challenge Level Gauntlet. And if met, BW5 will perform a bonus run of Astrobot's recently released Challenge Level Gauntlet, a series of extremely difficult sections testing his abilities, and add an extra 20 minutes of levels onto the run. I hear you making noise, Doc. I'm sorry. Is everything all right?
Aloy wasn't examining and tried to basically parkour her way up to her death, rather than examining something.
See if I can figure out exactly what happened to them.
Like we talked about, right? It's sometimes Aloy just wants to let go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
looks like 2 more sets of tracks keep
the
going.
Not at the control tower, no. We still have a lot more run to do, Aloy.
Boat must have cast off from here. So
If we still got a minute, I'll just finish my quick point. I wanted to make sure we weren't missing anything.
Nope, go ahead.
We have a absolutely stacked lineup this weekend. We are only here, the pre-show was on Wednesday, Thursday was day 1, we're only on day 2. We still got Saturday and Sunday of absolutely stacked lineups of runs by speedrunners that you know and love. Probably follow some of them. I know you've seen a lot of them over at GDQ. These are all individuals of unparalleled generosity who heard the call for help for Linear, and everyone has stepped up. Just like Redoc 19 here, we're all here to try to make a difference in the world. Everyone has their own reasons for being here. All of it coincides and goes hand in hand with wanting to help Linear. I know for me, being a new dad, there was nothing when I got this call that was going to stop me from being here to try to participate. Again, being a new dad, having my young boy, which is actually, in 6 days, he's going to be 6 months. Can't believe it's been that far already. But I would do anything for Baby Biggest, as people call him. And I know that Linear feels the same exact way. And a lot of the community also feels the same exact way. That's why we're stepping up to try to be here for our friends. So if you have the opportunity to donate, please do so. We would greatly appreciate it. You can click the link that's pinned on the Twitch chat. You can click the donate button underneath the stream, or you can type !donate into chat. All of that's going to get you over to our donation landing page. Anything counts, really, truly. But if it's $1, there is no limit to what you could put forward. Everything goes a long, long way. Thank you so much for you're able to do that. And if you're not, that's okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with us as we have a fun time. Doc, I've talked too long. I'm going to let you go right back to it.
Okay, just so, a fun little tidbit for the quest that we just the side quest we just finished. There's a cutscene where you talk with the Quinn soldier that, killed that female one that was at the airport, and also, like, kidnapped, Inky, whose focus we just recovered from the Tide Ripper. If you talk to him after you've gone to the, airport, or if you talk to him before going to the airport, or if you go to the airport and you fast travel back, like do what I did and you fast travel too quickly before Aloy finishes talking, you will not get a cutscene you can skip. If you get essentially some dialogue where Aloy says, "I have to go back to the island," you have missed something. If you are able to skip a cutscene, you are okay and you can move on. It's a nice little checkpoint to have to make sure that you haven't skipped anything. And it's very helpful, like in a run at least, because you're like, oh, okay. It's annoying because you have to let Aloy yabber on. But what can you do? She loves to talk. Alright, so we're gonna take advantage of a lovely chain burst. Alright, that guy. And then
Looks like they've got their own backup.
Keep firing!
More soldiers coming in.
And then that lady. And then wait a little bit.
Help us. We're clear. No sign of Pyrrhic or the last of the prisoners.
Come on!
RFS. So I can preserve that chain burst. Not that it matters at this point. We're gonna rappel up, get this key
module
to get behind the
Maybe it'll
door.
get us into Pyrrhic's headquarters.
And we're gonna fight another Quinn
I'm not sure.
zealot who followed who's followed Landra. So we're going to go there, and so you can after this quest you can fully upgrade the Spectre Gauntlet, and in order to complete this quest, you have to loot that guy's corpse. If you don't, you will not have completed the quest. We're gonna loot this, and then annoyingly, despite the fact that I bound Pry to a different button, I have to hit R2. And then I'm gonna skip the cutscene, RFS, and then get transported back to Fleet's End. I'm gonna finish
While I'm here, I could stop by
Yellow's
Workbench,
quest.
upgrade my...
We're gonna finish the other quest that we just finished.
Looks like some of the
And then we are on our way. We're gonna get the last
If it is,
aerial capture.
I've had quite the night.
And so this is where Lillian Barnett, this final aerial capture is where Lillian Barnett learns the truth of what Zero Dawn is. And then she realizes, you know, because she actually learns the truth from Elizabeth Sobek herself, who Aloy is a clone of, that what Zero Dawn truly is,
That's when I realized they were scared.
and not a weapon.
Fail-safe countdown had
Elizabeth is able to convince Lillian not to do what she's been doing,
scientists now.
because she's mentioned that during, you hear that it's on a self-timer, that if she doesn't do a certain sequence of events, it's going to broadcast automatically. So in event of her death and yada yada, those kind of triggers or capture, it'll release to the public. But she has now had a change of heart, and she's doing everything she can to make sure that they don't go off. So she's on a suicide mission, and this is the final one we kind of learn about. This aerial capture, you have a little bit more leeway, I think partly because of how it's structured, so you can actually go off the path. I have to do more testing, but I think maybe there's you can take more tight turns to get to where it is, but we'll see.
The men and women out there won't ever know what they're really
So yeah,
fighting for.
that's what's left of LA now. And now we are done with the Burning Shores. Oh, another thing. So this right here is where there's literally an X marks the spot for the Delver's Trinkets. You do not need to complete that quest in order to get 100%, nor do you need to input the codes for you don't need to input the codes for the Pangea figurines. When you leave the Burning Shores, you should be, as I showed the progression menu, at 87%. And then once you finish the arena section, you should be at 95% even. If you aren't, then that means you missed something. So we still have, because we have still one more machine to scan, which is the Apex version of the Water Ring. If you have any announcements, you're welcome to say it, because I do need to focus for this one.
Absolutely, I've got you covered. Everybody, Lifeline for Linear is a mutual aid marathon raising money for fellow speedrunner LinearC, who recently became a single mother and has accrued a lot of unexpected debt. In response, her friends and community have come together to present these 5 days of amazing speedruns in her support. If you want to help Linear directly, you can donate using !donate in the chat. And this event, Lifeline for Linear, is running, like I said, from 5 days, but that's Wednesday, February 18th is when we started with the pre-show through Sunday, February 23rd. And we've got an amazing action-packed lineup for you to enjoy. If you want to see that full schedule, type !schedule in the chat. We greatly appreciate if you can get a donation in, but go check out what we got coming up over the next couple of days, because we'll be missing. While we let Doc continue to focus in on here, really quickly, when we talk about our friend Linear, I want to tell you a little bit about Linear. Linear has been gaming her entire life since she was a kid, and received her first gaming console, which was a gift originally meant for Christmas, but she found it earlier. In 2015, Linear discovered Games Done Quick, which then led her to Frame Fatales and Lady Arcader communities, She began volunteering in various roles from hosting to community moderation and soon became a lead for Lady Arcaders and a runner. Linear loves helping and uplifting others in her community and helping raise money for charities. So if you want to learn more, if you want to learn how to help LinearC directly, you can type !LFL in the chat and help us try to uplift Linear as well. Did we miss something good?
Yeah, I got a really good match there. I'm just shy of my PB. Oh, that's okay. I was so close. I got good RNG with the Apex Scorchers. There you go. No, I'm not talking to you, Prina. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Prina. That's my dog, by the way. Alright, we're done with the arena. Thankfully for the Burning Shores Hundo, you just have to do one arena, and it doesn't open up until you finish talking to Seika. So as you can see, we're at 95%. That is where you should be before you talk to Silence. Again, if you are not at 95% after completing the arena, you have missed something. Whether it's finishing up the quests, or a collectible or two. So it's very easy to like figure it out. With the full, like the main game hundo, it's a little more difficult because there's way more stuff. Like there are 102 machines you have to scan and time.
GG.
You're back. And after mingling with the Quen, I imagine that you're eager for some intelligent conversation.
There are some pretty special people among the Quen.
That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Redoc, how do you feel? That was an outstanding run. You're just under estimate too.
Yeah, I think it would have been a little bit faster if it wasn't for those misses with the aerial captures, but I mean, it happens. The aerial captures are some of the more annoying collectibles for this run, because they're so finicky with like how far you can go away from it before it fails. But overall, really good. You know, it went well. Happy we could raise some money for Linear. I'm happy to show up here and show some support.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much for being here and gracing us with this amazing run that you gave us. Do you have any shout outs that you'd like to give?
I want to give a shout out to the Horizon community in general. We do have the Horizon Speedrun channel. If you go to the YouTube channel, there's actually, if you want to learn the main game, any percent run, New Game Plus, there is a tutorial done by another runner who has traded world records with Beta and Elkjar on story and ultra hard respectively for that run. Greedy Old Ka. And if you want to learn that and jump into running Forbidden West, that's a good place to start.
Awesome, awesome. And Doc, if people are looking to get some more cute penguin doctor action in Horizon, where can they find you?
On my Twitch channel. Yep, I stream occasionally. I am currently in the process of doing a couple of challenge runs. One of them is doing completing the main game 100% on ultra hard, which is, yes, brutal. And eventually the full game. The best time right now, I don't think it's an official yet, but is held by Beta at like just over 22 hours, or close to 24 hours for the 100% full game, 100% on ultra hard. And then I'm doing another one where I'm doing a full game hundo, and I cannot use the mount unless it is required as part of a quest or collectible. I'm only about a third of the way in, and the main game, and I am at I think 6 or 7 hours into the run. So, but
sounds like a lot of walking in California.
Oh yes, it's a lot. You got Las Vegas, you got a few other places. You got the Stand of the Sentinels, which is the the redwood forest in California. So there's a lot of places where we're San Francisco. So yeah, a lot of
Well,
walking.
it sounds like a fun time, Doc. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Everybody, hey, this is a great time for you to get some hydration, stretch a little bit. We're going to be taking a very quick break, but do not go too far. Don't touch that dial because Lifeline for Linear will be right back. One. Hey gamers, welcome back. You are watching Lifeline for Linear live on Twitch. Let's give it up one more time for the amazing Redoc19. What an outstanding run that was. And you know what, chat? You are outstanding because during that run, not only did we raise an additional $200 in order to unlock that really cute and sweet scene between Aloy and Seika, but we were also able to get $1,800 in total to hit that milestone and add Astrobot onto our schedule. Because of your generosity, we are doing so much for someone that is a friend of this community. Linear recently became a single mother to her 9-year-old son, Ken, and because of this, they've accrued a lot of unexpected debt. The speedrunning community, one that I know to be unparalleled in their generosity, which is fully on display here, heard about what Linear was experiencing and wanted to step up, and so here we are. And I am now going to be joined by who is going to be our next upcoming host, and they also heard the call to be here to help out Linear. I've got the amazing Doodleplex with me. Hey, Doodle.
Hello, how are you, Joe? How are you doing today?
I'm doing a Great. I'm having a great time. See, you're around, Doodle, and I can't speak. I'm just in awe of your presence, of being here with me, because you're well known as being an extremely sweet and kind person, and I think that everyone is really going to have a treat to have you behind the mic with them. I'm doing great, and I'm really enjoying the schedule so far. Are you enjoying it yourself?
Yeah, it's been great so far, and I'm really looking forward to some of the upcoming runs, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I grew up with that game. That's a lot of good memories there. Sonic X Shadows Generations. I've been watching Metroid Prime practice runs. It's really awesome. And then there's this game called An Airport for Aliens, currently run by dogs. That sounds amazing. I can't wait for that.
All of those sound phenomenal as well, but there's one game that I'm actually really looking forward to, and it's the very one that you're gonna get to host for. I'm super jealous. It's Astrobot. We've got B-Dud 5 coming on in order to show this off, and B-Dud is not to be passed over or slept over here. It is, B-Dub is gonna bring it. You just heard all of the skips and all of the work that B-Dud puts into games. They are, one of those that you can't count out, because they constantly are finding new skips. They're constantly helping build out the strategies for these speed runs, and I'm super excited to see them take on Astrobot.
Fully agree. I can't wait.
Now, Doodle, I know for you, right, that you're probably also really looking forward to the Astrobot, but what are some runs that you already saw that you really got to enjoy and really loved?
I saw the Beastie Ball earlier. That was a lot of fun. Balatro, of course. And I always love me some... it's just like a dragon. I love me some Yakuza.
Oh, you can never go wrong with Like a Dragon. In this case, it was what, The Man Who Erased His Name. I have that in my Steam library, and I am yet to play it. But that I got to watch that. That was an amazing run by Pop No Tarts. Really, really enjoyed it. I did, and this is like one time where Baby Bingus went to sleep, and I actually had a chance to watch, and it was during that block. So I got to see Balatro as well. Leaf put forward a great show with that. And New Amber as well, with that all dungeons run of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Anytime you get to stack beds on beds on beds and turn the entire story around and save Link, it's always a good time in my book.
I couldn't agree more. Oof. You know what? I'm so excited for Astrobot. How about we start heading towards that?
Perfect. So everybody, hey, this is my time to say goodbye. This is the last hosting shift that I've got with y'all. I am leaving you in the extremely amazing and capable hands of Doodle. Y'all have a great rest of the event, and keep on helping us help Linear. Have a great night, everybody. And Doodle, you're going to rock it.
Thank you so much, Joe. All right, friends. And like I just said, soon we're going to be having Astrobot Game of the Year 2024 by B-Dud5. But before we get there, friends, I have a request for you. In Astrobot, there are references from many different PlayStation games, and while I know a few of them, I don't know them all. So I need your help, chat. I need you to type !donate and go donate to tell me some of the games that are referenced in Astrobot. Or potentially are. I trust you, chat. I know you wouldn't lie to me. And while you're there, why not put some money towards all of our amazing incentives? See, we've got the OST Bid War, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, the Glitch Exhibition, and Super Mario Sunshine. Just so much cool stuff. I know you're all going to want to see that. But for right now, I'm going to go check to see if our PlayStation 5 mothership is about ready to go. And I'll be back with some Astrobot. So don't change the dial. Don't change the page. We'll be right back.